Well, hello everybody. It's Kev Bo Jones here with another episode of the Wonderful World of Baseball Cards. Today I wanted to show some of the cards that I picked up as a kid, collecting mostly through shows from the ages of about 11 through about 16. I started really drifting away from baseball card collecting when I turned 16. Obviously, was in high school. I had my driver's license, and just other priorities unfortunately took over. Drifted in and out of the hobby over the years, subsequently, but I'm just really, really enjoying it now. And I wanted to just show some of these cards that I had picked up when I was a kid. Unfortunately, a few of my kind of flagship cards I no longer have in my collection. I had to sell them in the around 2007, as I was going through some personal stuff in my life, and had to part with, unfortunately, a beautiful 54 Willie Mays, and a really, really nice 1955 Ted Williams, among others that I really can't remember now. But these are ones that I've always hung on to. It just kind of shows you the 12-year-old kid in me, fallen in love with vintage cards. There aren't a lot here, but I will still go through them quickly. So, as a 12-year-old kid, 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, you've got $20 or $30 to spend at a car show, and so you kind of get what you can. So I just wanted to show you. So this is a 1952 Topps Sherry Robertson. You can see it's got a little pinhole up there. I just thought it was so cool to have a 1952 Topps card as a kid. And this was my only one for a very, very, very long time. And now some have been kind of coming my way, which is really interesting. But I just loved this card. Always have hung on to it. This one is still in an old holder. This is a 1952 Bowman Joe Adcock. When I bought this at a card show, I thought that I was the king of the world. As you can see, it is well past its prime, but it's just a fantastic card, and this is one that I will always hang on to. It's a special card for me. The 1952 Joe Adcock, I just love it. Here's a 1953 Jim Pendleton. And I just love it because it's the first year for the Milwaukee Braves, and I love that Braves logo. Again, this was my only 1953 card for a very long time, and I really still don't have that many of these. I think it's just a gorgeous set, though. And I did collect the Archives set when that came out in 1991. But this Jim Pendleton is the only one that I have, and I've always hung on to it. Here's another one of those, like the Joe Adcock, that when I got this, I just thought I was the king of the world. Here's a 1953 Bowman Ralph Kiner. I think I maybe paid about $5 for this as a kid. I always loved that 53 Bowman set, and I just thought that this was such a cool card. It's one of the only few Bowman colors that I have, but this is from my childhood collection. And just thought this card was cool. And here's a Bowman black and white. You can see this one is ancient. In fact, I'll take this one out. I might as well. It's a 1953 Andy Pafko Bowman black and white, beat to shreds. I got the Andy Pafko because, he's the number one in the Topps set, so that's kind of how I knew who he was. And I don't know, there's something about this that I just liked it because it was so beat up, I think. And it literally looks like it was like a baseball spoke card. So I love it. Now here's a couple of a player. These my dad got for me. And it's hard to believe this is my only 1954 Topps card in my entire collection. I've hung on it. I got this at the first baseball card show I ever went to, these next two. This Dusty Rhodes from the 1954 Topps. Of course, he was a legend in the 54 World Series with his hitting. And my dad said, you should get that card. And I don't know, he's not number one in this, but he's like, you should. He was a good player, and he was good in the World Series that year. So he convinced me to, I think he bought these for me. He got me this 54 Dusty Rhodes, and then this 55 Dusty Rhodes, which this is number one in the 55 set. These came the same day. I got these two the same day. Again, for his prowess in the World Series that year. This 55 Banks here, I'm gonna just move these for the suspense. I bought this from the same guy when I had the 55 Williams and the 54 Topps Mays. It was from a neighbor of mine's dad had these. These were from his childhood collection. So this one is one that I've always hung on to. But I really like this 55 Ernie Banks. And I got a bunch. I like the 55 set. Here's a Junior Gilliam, or Jim Gilliam rather. 1955 Topps that I got. I was always looking for these. Whoever I could get as a kid of these, if they were somewhat affordable, I'd get them. Here's a Rube Walker that I've always hung on to. This is a pretty nice looking card. Here's Al Rosen. I think I got this Al Rosen. In fact, I think I got all these 55s together at that show where I got the Dusty Rhodes. Here's a 55 Stan Hack. So that was that. Here's a 55 Bowman Don Zimmer that I picked up. He was a manager of the Cubs, and I loved the Cubs back then with Harry Carey and everything. So I got that. Here's an Eddie Matthews, a 1956 Topps that I picked up. This one I paid a little more for. This was towards the end of my first run of collecting years. I think I picked this one up when I was about 16. But I always loved that card. And this one I got around the same time too, this 56 Harmon Killebrew, which is a really nice card. I think I got this one. I think I was probably about 16 when I got this, and thought I was, a big shot for getting a 1956 Harmon Killebrew. And then here's a Mini Minoso that I got. I want to say I got this Mini Minoso around the same time that I got those 55s that I was showing you. My dad was going through all the 50s cards and was like, get this guy, get that guy, get this guy. And they were all pretty cheap back then, so I think I got all those 55s and this one like at the same time. This one, 1957 Robin Roberts, great card. I'd love to get an upgrade of this one actually, but this was a gift from my cousin that he went to a baseball card show in Texas. And this and the next card were presents for me for Christmas one year. So this 57 Robin Roberts, and then this Pete Wizenant. Again, like this is a random card, but my cousin Brett got this for me for Christmas one year. I think I was probably about 14, and I just thought it was so cool. I've always liked the team cards. So I got this Detroit Tigers team card. I don't know why, I just have always been drawn to the team cards. Now this card, a couple of these next ones were also Christmas presents. In fact, I think the next four are Christmas presents. This is the famous 1958 Sport Magazine Willie Mays Mickey Mantle All-Star. This is like one of two mantles in my collection. I just absolutely love it. It's a little beat up, but I got this for Christmas. This is one that I will always hang on to. In the same package, I just remember this vividly. They got me this 1958 Topps, 1958 Topps Yankees team card. It's got all the legends on there. My parents got me this 1958 Early Win for Christmas. And then they got me this. I sent this into PSA to get it graded. I kind of regret doing it. I got this back a few months ago this summer. I don't think I'll ever do a PSA submission again. But they sent me this 1958, or I got this 1958 Willie Mays too. I sent this into PSA to get graded. It came back a 4. But I've always loved this card, and again, this is one that I'd always hang on to, and I'm actually thinking of cracking it out of this slab and putting it back into its natural kind of top loader state. I don't know why I sent this in, but I did. So, but this was a gift from my parents for Christmas one year. Here's a Milt Pappas rookie from 1958. I just like his name. So that's what I had. Like I said, is when you're a kid buying, you don't have a lot of capital. So you kind of just get what you can, what sticks out. Here's a 59 Duke Snider. Love it with the LA Dodgers. This one I got towards the later end of my collecting too. I think I was about 15 or 16 when I got this one. 59 Don Newcomb. This used to be in that binder of childhood cards that I had, that I did in one of my very first videos. This Don Newcomb was in there, and that was one of the first vintage cards that I ever got, was this Don Newcomb. I got a Veda Pinson, 1959. My dad was a Reds fan growing up as a kid, so he always told me to get the Reds guys. So got that, and then I got this Leon Wagner, which is super cool. I think that's a really sharp looking card. Again, I think I got this towards like my later teen collecting years. And then we just got a couple of more. Got this Rocky Colavito Baseball Thrills, which I thought was a really cool card. And then the last one is 1959 Topps. I believe this is 59. 1959 Topps Milwaukee Braves team card, that I just really liked because I like the logo, and I like the team cards. I always have. So that's kind of just, a little bit of that is basically my childhood 50s collection, what's left of it at least. So I hope you guys all enjoyed, and please like and subscribe, comment. I try to get back to everybody, and keep collecting what you love.